Hi everyone, so this is again continuation, and this is like another piece of something. I don't like the blue underneath that, but again, this is again like a thing from this. Clearly I don't quite care about like that this is my sketch and I'm putting something, because I always felt like if my art isn't strong enough to survive me, then it's not worth it. It's like not good enough for me anyway. So sorry art, but if you don't, maybe because I never had people, so I would just like think like if my own art cannot stand my own self, then I don't even care. I don't think that made sense really what I said, but okay. This is one of the things that I would call, I think, body central or something. One of the sketches. That time was magical, and it was really cool to sketch that. Let me just tell you, I missed that, but there was also a lot of darkness around that time. Yeah, because of abuses and things like that, but it was really cool. I felt like I was just somewhere else, and I could just like watch my own self sketching that, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, there's again no words I can find really to explain it, but it just felt like as if I would just see my body sketching, if that makes sense. Like, and when I was like super younger, when I was like sketching things, like I used to kind of like sketch like here, like with my body or whatever, but like I would see a lot of like images, or I would feel like I am somewhere else, and then I would like keep losing that as I would grow up, and I would just be so sad, and I was all alone in it because nobody understood that. So really great. I don't know what to say, but yeah, that was like another, like some kind of penny, but that wasn't quite good. So my hand with like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Okay, we have another one over here. Wow. That was cool. Yeah. I was very kind of against time, and there was like a now over here. Okay. Good times, I guess. This is like another one. I don't know why all of a sudden I just kind of felt like I want to start crying, but it's just crazy how things can change, and how usually things that people don't expect them to happen, but also the constant, the constant like surprised, people being surprised that bad things happen. Like I said in some other videos, where we know that we don't care about each other as people, like there's still so much hurt, homelessness and stuff like that, and there's still people who have so much more, and not to like sound, you know what I mean, but I don't know what to call it, like this mindset of like, oh, rich people are bad and stuff like that, but like I'm sorry, but there's still people that are homeless, and there are people that have more, and I don't understand how humanity cannot see that there's something wrong about that, okay? I don't know. I don't get it. I wish that people would kind of have, I don't know. Again, I like the idea of like not knowing what this life and everything is. But I don't know. I also like the idea of people just realizing that we are here, like we operate with nature and stuff like that and things like that. And or also sometimes when people are saying like, oh, like I was watching some like vlog from like, I don't know, Scotland or something a few weeks ago or whatever, and somebody said something like, oh, like this is like something like nature from Scotland, like this just was made, okay, and just as you just one day, and again, I know I don't know what this world is and everything, but just like to show some kind of point of perspective, like you just show up here at some point again in life. Again, I know that I'm not a god, I don't know everything as well, but just to present some point of view. I'm not saying that this is how it is or it is for other, for all people, obviously. But you just show up here, you have like this body, whatever, you're just given this, and I don't know, right? And the same with like nature and everything around us. It was just kind of here, appeared, and I don't like sometimes when people are kind of like, oh, this is like Scotland's or this and that country. Oh, sorry, like Scotland, by the way, no hate and everything specifically, but just I don't like the mentality sometimes that I feel people have that like, oh, this is like, I'm gonna have to use names. So sorry, Scotland. But yes, like, this is like Scottish, like river, or like this is landscape from Scotland. Like, just because somebody like from human showed up over there or whatever in this like landscape or whatever and named it doesn't like mean it that you own it. You know what I mean? Like, I felt so much like anger a lot of times when I was creating about humanity and wishing that nature or something would just like do something to people, that they can shake off that stupid idea, that they can finally realize that they're not the masters and kings here. And I was just like always so angry, even if I would like create some of like images that weren't really, that was like one of like the things that I was showing before, like in my 2009 kind of things, like digitally and stuff like that. A lot of times I would kind of feel those things, and even though I didn't know how to pray, I would kind of pray for something like that to happen. And I was always kind of torn apart, like, well, I don't want to wish bad for people, I don't want bad things to happen, but I felt like not if things could go smoothly and somehow people would realize what's the right thing to do, and giving helping each other and all of that, just making sure everyone has what they need to have. Like what Venus Project, for example, this is like the only thing that I just remembered a few months ago. I think remembered because I was so traumatized by other things, and I remembered the Venus Project, and this is the closest thing that I've heard in this entire like outside world that is the closest to like my ideas, to make sure that everyone has everything that they need to have. Or this whole thing with like stars, for example, or like artists that are popular, it disgusts me because it's kind of like, and this whole competition thing disgusts me again because it's just nobody has the first start, and those things matter, like at least from my perspective. And so to see and worship, that's the awful thing, that people like worship those people that you don't even quite know of, and a lot of times their values, in my opinion, aren't that noble. And a lot of times, even if somebody helps or do something good, it's more for themselves, if that makes sense, in the longer run. And everyone just goes in some like weird direction, and nobody quite really, it's just always gonna, it's just like this noise and not enough, just like the realness, at least where I was like growing up, or just where I've like seen, I don't know. But like I would, I hate this aspect of like, yeah, I don't even want to get into it, maybe better not, but I would just prefer to live like what the Venus, one of the things what the Venus Project wants to do is like to make sure that everyone kind of has what they need. Like anything that you can want, you just go to like this one center in the main part of the city or something, as far as I understand, sir, if I misunderstood. And you just take whatever like you need or whatever. So then that's kind of like fun to kind of see what other people create. But now it's kind of like an artist who's popular or whatever, which I, sorry, not to hate, because there are definitely some obviously good people as always. But to just see those like people who are like more mainstream or whatever, things like that, more popular, it's like they're just been kind of chosen. And again, I feel like, I don't know, it's just stupid to worship them like that, because they've been given a lot of chances that other people didn't get. And then for me to, when people even like worship those people, that's the thing that I just always like shocked me, because like it just doesn't make sense, because like there's so many people, if they had another chances at general, not even artistically, but just like, if somebody would grow up in better environment, like they would be could do better than this other person or whatever. I also don't like this whole idea of comparing and stuff like that. Never quite like that, but yeah, I just the whole thing that like people don't get, that like not everyone has everything, you know, like a fair, I don't know, environmental kind of possibilities like other people. And then those people grow up, and then the ones that are more lucky in a sense are the ones that kind of matter the most socially. And even if you have like people who were struggling a little bit but they become somebody, well, then you just were still lucky. And then there are still people who, for example, commit suicide that you never hear about but had this story. And the thing that pisses me off the most about the so-called artists, a lot of, not all of them, sorry, of course, if you know, you know, then I don't even have to tell you, because if you are the kind of person, I'm sure that you know that they are a good person. But the thing that I hate about like the mainstream art or whatever is that in my opinion, everyone is born beautifully, and I love the connection of like, in a sense, God or to something more to life, and being around that kind of vibe. But like, neither that like the mainstream kind of artists, I wouldn't even call them artists, but you know what I mean. They don't even grasp to that idea, and they create just more ideas to group people in society, or it's just like it just goes in the wrong direction. I don't want to talk about that, but they're not really beautiful in my opinion. Not to hate them. I mean, again, I think everyone is beautiful, but I just don't understand this whole constant trend of like what they present maybe with themselves. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just, yeah, I don't know really if I really expressed what I wanted to express, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's not about love, definitely, in my opinion, and it's just a lot of noise. And yeah, again, it's just everyone shines their beautiful light because of something greater than all of us, and then that's the beauty. But I feel like, I don't know, just like I said, I don't know if I explained exactly what I wanted to, but trying to think about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, no, I don't know. Yeah, and yeah, okay. So wishing you everything well, and goodbye.